Man, like you said, the reaction that the main guy has over like the reveal of bugs versus the reveal of child labor was not really equivalent.
Yeah.
I feel like he should have been a little bit more concerned. Also with the
reveal that he eats babies.
Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Pointless Discourse with myself, Hoppocalypse, and Itisdpayne.
Do you have any Cronum? Cronum. I was also going to say the phrase Willem, or whatever his name was. Wilford, and then everyone dabs.
No, they only dab when they say forever.
Forever.
Yeah. Strider and I, we watched it. I was going to bring this up because as soon as we find out who the actor is for Wilford, in case anyone hasn't figured it out, we are watching through different directors for this year, and this month is Bong Joon. So we watched Snowpiercer. But as soon as they did the reveal for the actor who plays Wilford, who is hinted at throughout the whole movie, I was just like, I looked at that guy and I went, that guy always plays the same character. Because we had watched, as like a bit of a meme, what's it called? It was a really high production film that should have just been a B movie. And the concept of it was Gerard Butler had to save the world because scientists figured out how to use satellites to change the weather.
Oh,
it's
I know
like
what you're talking about.
Something.
Geostorm.
So we watched that laughing at it, and there is a really old couple a few rows ahead of us, like probably like retirement age. And as soon as they showed the actor Ed Harris on screen, the husband went, as the bad guy, like out loud in the theater. And Strider's like, wouldn't it be a funnier twist if Ed Harris, for once in his life, didn't have to be the bad guy? So as soon as
he
like
was the good guy.
Yeah, but no, but yeah, so this is our second weekend, right? Last week we started with The Host, and this definitely feels like a much more serious movie. Like, it tried to be funny at times, but I don't think it had the time to get there in a way that I remember from his directorial styles. Because you said, what is it? It's supposed to be complex characters, social commentary, dark humor, panning shots. I feel like I remembered more than I expected.
Yeah, you remember more than I do.
So I see elements of all of that in this one, but
I'll save it for Spoiler Town.
Yes. So I'm trying to think, like, I kind of want to just start talking about this because I did also watch it recently. I watched it last night while I was folding laundry. Mm-hmm. And it's just like, I don't know what else to like squeeze into the intro without me just pointing at something.
I watched it while eating Quick Check.
I
know next month at some point we're going to try Royal Farms. Which I heard they good fried chicken.
It depends on the location. I mean,
that's also what I've heard.
Growing up where I did, I'll always be a Wawa person.
Yeah. I don't know. I feel like now Wawa's also dependent on the location. But
Wawa used to be
amazing.
Much better, yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's, I don't know. I feel like they spread too far. I feel like they need to go back to, like, instead of trying to make something for everyone, being like, hey, we're going to make hoagies really well.
I've heard an interesting thing. I've heard, again, I have no way to confirm this, word of mouth, blah, blah, blah.
I'll confirm it right now. You heard this.
You're going to call the Wawa guy?
Yeah.
But supposedly something happened in some of the contracts. So some of the food that they used to source has now different suppliers.
I could see that.
Yeah, because we used to always get the mac and cheese bowl with chicken strips on top. And over time, we've been like, why don't we like this as much? It looks the same. It just isn't the same. But when someone mentioned, like, oh, yeah, they used to, like, go through these people, but now they go through those people, we went, that must be it. It must be just that small little change. But when you've gotten it, like, I think I got a big Wawa by my high school about the time I could drive. So I always went there for gas, and I always went there for after-school snacks. And it used to be cheap enough that with my part-time high school job, I could eat Wawa without it feeling like, with it
Yeah.
feeling the same price as fast food. And I remember really enjoying it. Now I just go and like get a drink, okay, one thing I haven't done yet, get my seasonal gobbler, which when this releases, it'll still be in season. We're not that far ahead in recording.
Yeah.
But I did also get showed to me on my social media algorithms around the Philadelphia area the best rated gobblers. And some of those sandwiches look so good. And for anyone not within this region, I don't know if anybody outside of like the Northeast does this, but imagine you have Thanksgiving dinner, but instead of it having to be around people, they just give you a bowl of slop. Or you put it on bread.
Yeah.
You get your stuffing, you get your turkey and gravy, sometimes mashed potatoes if you're ready and willing, and sometimes cranberry sauce, and you just eat that on a bun or you eat it in a bowl.
Yeah. My mom, she was a really good cook. She made a lot of stuff, but there was like two things that I'm like, it didn't matter. I don't know if it's a texture thing or a taste, but I didn't like her meatloaf, and I didn't like stuffing. And the thing is, I had stuffing from other people, like and I was like, I don't mind the taste of it, but it's like, I don't know.
I love stuffing. Like when everything was locked down and, we weren't seeing people, we did a sides only Thanksgiving because Strider and I are like, we're not going to go through the effort of a turkey for 2 people. Mm-hmm. So I made myself a big serving of stuffing. And when I homemade stuffing, I put like my own like sausage, and I basically like cooked it in like sausage fat too for the bread to soak up. I was like, oh, it's what it's supposed to taste like. Because before that, I've only ever had box stuffing.
Yeah.
So it did make quite the difference. And then we had friends over last year, and we did the sides only Thanksgiving again. And I jokingly asked him, I was like, oh, if I cook for Friendsgiving for us, how many trays of sweet potato casserole should we make? Because he specifically likes that. The rest of us are like, okay, it's fine. But like when we think of it, we're like, we'd rather have a different dessert. He was like, all right, make 3 trays of sweet potato casserole. We went, hello, you're the only one that eats it. He said, well, if you invite new people, they can try some. I can bring a tray home and have a tray for while I'm at your place. And we were like, no, sir. You don't know how much sugar is in there. He's like, no, I know.
It reminds me of this video I forget who the name of the TikToker is, but it's like this like wife complaining about friends that like her and her husband have, and like her husband makes these really good egg tarts, and she was like, yeah, he makes really good egg tarts. I said he should go into business, he should make them, and so we are. But egg tart, this guy who keeps coming over, we'll call him Egg Tart Man, it just keeps coming over and it's like, can you make me some egg tarts? And it's just like, guy, I don't even get egg tarts, and it's like a secret family recipe and all this stuff. And then so that was like my first introduction to this TikToker. And then she was like, dude, I just wish he just like would stop. Well, apparently friends and like friends of friends saw it and sent it to him.
Oh.
And he's like, I don't know who did it, but thank you. I'm glad he's gone. And just like, he hope he got the message and all that stuff. Like, we're not like, he's like, oh wait, I have to be. She cracks me up. She's got like that like the voice of just like, we're gonna hear and gossip for an hour, and it's just like, you're not gonna be able to say anything, but you're gonna hear my story. And it's just
like a mile a minute talking.
Yeah, like not a mile a minute. It's just like, oh yeah, this, and then it goes from there. Yeah, I guess it does a little bit of mile a minute, but it's just like, it's like, okay. And I'm like, I have no clue who you are in real life, but I feel like every time you show up on my For You page, I learn more about you. Which, hey, I don't mind learning a little bit more about stuff like that. It's a lot better than some of the other things we were talking about that TikTok decides to
show people. But no, that is really funny. But on the topic of luxurious foods, what if I told you were stuck on a train without any of that? You just got given jelly bricks without being told what was in them, except maybe a secret message.
It'd help my figure.
That's going to be my not so smooth transition into talking about
One of these
Snowpiercer.
days, Hops is just going to be like, Itisdpayne, shut up and talk about the movie. I'm like, okay.
Well, I was going to see if I could
I
make
know.
Mile a Minute work, but I
Yeah.
realized I missed the opportunity. But here we are, ready to roll some dice.
Yes.
But yeah, kind of like I mentioned at the beginning of this episode, we are watching through different directors through the year. This is our 11th out of 12 directors, so we're almost done the series.
The penultimate director. I forgot the word director.
Yeah, so we roll 12-sided dice, one to represent each director we watched throughout the year to see who gives a 1 and 2 sentence synopsis of the movie. No spoilers, and then we have questions that we ask each other to start off the conversation, and we will warn you before we go into spoiler town. What I realized I forgot to say last episode, and I'll say it now so I don't forget later, is we do have plans of what we'll be doing for next year's set of movies. It's a bit of a surprise for both of us because we'll be spinning a wheel, and if you have any suggestions for us for what to add to that wheel, feel free to leave it in comments or in reviews, whichever your preferred listening app lets you do. I think one of our examples is the highest grossing movie out of the year we were born. That one we kind of collaborated on. And then we have more general things like kaiju movie or watching a movie you own but haven't had a chance to watch yet.
Yep. This is one that I like. It's watch the other host's last movie. If you've already watched it, go down the list until you get to a film you haven't watched yet. So you get to hear you'll get to hear us watch the same opinion of the previous movie, but from different. We'll see if Arcel you know what's going to be fun or funny?
Are you going to purposely watch Cell 2 to make me watch Cell 2?
Well, no, because then the thing is, I would have to do that before this
whenever
prompt
the
comes
wheel.
up. But the thing is, it's like, because we don't know the order, but knowing how things will work, this will be our number one prompt. And it's like, do we just watch the last movie again? So some of them we'll probably have to
play around with as we get there. Yeah.
And then so there's definitely some fun ones in there. Speaking about things coming up against your will, or just randomly, not against your will. I've lost Wikipedia. I found Wikipedia. Why do I have two Wikipedia? Oh, that Wikipedia is important. I didn't realize, I keep getting a whole bunch of or Pennywise stuff. I didn't realize they came out with a TV show if Pennywise wasn't, I guess, hindered by the kids from It or whatever. I don't know. I never watched or read the book.
Yeah, I'm not familiar either.
But I think there's a TV show that just came out or is dropping, and people are now sharing the insane lore that Stephen King has, and I don't think insane definitely means good in all different senses, but it's just some of the crazy connections. But I'm rolling my die.
Dice.
Oh, well.
Oh. I am not sure if you'll get a chance to talk this week, but let me know what you rolled.
I rolled one of the numbers that is on the extreme end of the sides. I rolled a 1.
I rolled the other one. I rolled the 12.
Yeah, I figured when you said that, I'm like, well, it's like the only way I'm going to talk is if you tie with me, and the way you answered, I'm like, nope.
No. Alright, so for a quick summary of Snowpiercer, again, we'll do everything spoiler free, because I don't think this one is as important as the host for you to go in blind, but I do think that the ending has some interesting twists that it's worth knowing less going in. Mm-hmm. But I'll say that my summary for this is apocalyptic movie and classism, but written on the walls. Like, very, like, there's no questioning if this movie is a movie about classism and what society does to people. But yeah, so it's post-apocalyptic. I believe they said it's like 17 years after the world has frozen over and hasn't been sustainable for people to live on. But a group of maybe lucky people have been able to live on a train.
It's Fallout, but on a train instead of a vault.
Yeah, train only. And the train also does technically have all of your needs on it. So, not quite the vault, but yeah.
Depending on the vault.
Again, some of them were lucky.
Yep. So, if this was the only movie you watched of this director, would you watch any of the rest of their catalog?
Maybe. Like, okay, let me fix my attitude here.
No.
It's not.
Don't fix your attitude.
Oh, okay. No.
Be mean.
I didn't dislike the way that this movie was put together. I think I just found the conclusion to be a bit okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I don't think, like, I guess because I know that this is based off of source material and wasn't, like, written by the director. Kind of like how I like Spike Lee's movies a lot. Mm-hmm. But when we watched Inside Man and then we realized it had different writers on it, we were like, that's why it doesn't feel like a Spike Lee movie. It just has Spike Lee, like, flavors in it. So I think this movie, to me, has, like, I can tell it's directed by Bong Joon, but I don't think this is, like, the movie of his that I would tell people to watch. Mm-hmm. So I think this is a maybe because, again, it's not bad, but it's not as compelling as the
generic.
Host. Yeah, like, the first 75%, I was like, I think I've seen this before. And then the last 25%, I was like, well, that's an interesting ending.
Yeah, it's, I would give the same thing. Like, when I first watched it, I thought it was really good. And, it was, there's trains. They're here to make a cameo. We both kind of mentioned, that it was like, we don't know if Chris Evans was like really selling the lead role for us, which I guess we can get a little bit into when we get into spoiler town. Not that he does a bad performance. It's just like, I don't, except for like certain parts where I'm just like, okay. But I feel like the first time watching this, like when I was in my like early 20s. Is that when this movie came? That sound makes.
Yeah, I was 20 when it came out, so yeah, you would be in your early 20s.
Yeah, so it would have been like 21, 22, something around there. I don't remember when it came out.
I think you said 2013.
2013, so it would have been 20 something, 22 probably. We'll go with that. I'll do the math later. I won't. But yeah, it was like, I really remember enjoying it then. And then this time it's like, now that worldview, media view, movie view has like expanded, I would agree. I'm like, okay, I've seen these plot points.
Yeah, it's not a bad theme. It's just like, I think there's other things you could watch that would help you like flesh it out a little bit better.
Yep. How much did you root for the characters? Did you root for any characters?
I know I said that, like, or I had mentioned that one of the directorial styles of Bong Joon is to have like complex characters and things like that. I think this movie didn't give enough time for me to really like all of the. I was told everything that I think would have been really important for me in like the last like 5 to 10 minutes.
I think their choice later to do this as a TV show works better.
Yeah, I did have that keep popping up, and yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
It is a TV show that came out, and I remember when it came out, I was like, why did this come out? And now, like, watching it again, it was like, no, that I'm kind of curious to watch it, because there's so many things that, like, kind of just get farted in at the end of the movie that it's just like that. Like
that would have been nicer if it was kind of like discussed throughout, or yeah.
But it's just when you only have 2 hours, like, because even if this movie was an hour longer, so that way they could, I don't know, pace it a little bit more, like to show some of these things and the build up. I don't think it would have helped. I think a TV show to kind of show some of those nuances and kind of conversations and things that was just like
see actual interactions.
Yeah. Or like at least build the mystery where it ends it's just like ear and so but yeah, it's one of those things. I think the only characters that I rooted for was the door crackers. I'm blanking on
the father son or father daughter from the last movie we watched who have carried over.
I was sitting there, I'm like, are they the same people? It's like, so wait, is this what, like, did he get a lobotomy and then this is like what changes? New. This is so, but yeah, I liked them. They felt more grounded, even though, like, out of everyone else. It's funny, like, in this movie, like, I didn't realize it until watching it again. I was like, there's a lot of people in this movie that get into some really big and, or at least, like, get very, like, their career kept going.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just like, I forget her name, but the mom.
Octavia Spencer, I think maybe is her name, or is it,
Yeah, Octavia Spencer. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, her, I'm just like, I completely forgot she was in this movie, and I'm like, I remember, like, I recognize her from so many other things, and I'm just like, didn't
and then
even Tilda
Swinton is also like a big role in this.
Yeah, that's okay. Yes, I was like, is that who it is? And I'm like, her picture on IMDb doesn't look the same as she is in the movie.
Yeah, because they give her like the false teeth and the
yeah
big glasses.
Yeah, so there's that. So wait, was she like they have her here? So I'm just. Oh yeah, that was good. That was correct.
Yeah, I also recognize the teacher. Later on, I recognize her from Scott Pilgrim. So.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know who she is. Apparently, Jamie Bell is a pretty he was. Something.
It says he has like 36 listed roles. I don't think I've seen them.
He's in a movie we were talking about earlier, Jumper. Wait a second. He isn't the main guy, is he? No. Oh yeah, Hayden okay, Griffin he's the other mean jumper. So. But yeah. But no, there was like a lot of people in this movie, and I'm just like, oh, okay. So now I'm doing the thing where I'm just clicking on everyone's name just to be like, I recognize names. Who are they? So, but yeah, no, that was something that was like pretty neat to see. But yeah, no, the father-daughter duo, because I don't know why, it just cracked me up where it's just like, drugs, please. Like, just for the first couple of things, so like, open up the door. There's someone running. Drugs? It's just, and then, I don't know. Like I knew the end of their story, but having it be close to 11 years since I watched it last, I'm like, I didn't remember a lot of things, so just like, I'm like, I know what's gonna happen, but I was like, I'm glad that even though they weren't a great father-daughter in their first movie, they at least got to
have a second chance.
Yeah, have a second chance. It worked slightly better. I don't know if what's worse, letting your daughter accidentally get taken by a giant monster or drug addiction. But anyway, what would you grade the plot? Which I feel like we kind of answered. But
yeah, we kind of answered. I think I would give it just a flat C minus.
Give it a good
Yeah. What about you?
Yeah, the same thing. Like, there's a lot of neat stuff in here, but in totality, it's just it could have been
It's one of
it.
those, like, it feels like it touches on everything just a little bit without really giving you, like,
Mhm.
enough of either the world building or the character building to, like, take it all the way, I think. So yeah,
Yeah,
there's a lot there that they could have done.
yeah. If it like I never read the comic, and I'm wondering how big the comic is. But I have no really interest to read the comic. So, but how likely would you recommend this movie to others?
It's a good question. Um Maybe, like, I'd say a little bit on the lower side because again, if it's one of those like I want to introduce people to this director, I think a lot of people have heard of the movie we're watching next week, and the movie from last week is I think also a really great introduction to him. So I
Mm-hmm.
think I land on I don't really think I would recommend this. Because again, like you said, it's been kind of done before, so you could
Yeah,
probably find different things. And if the TV show gives it better like space
yeah.
too.
I I think if I was gonna recommend this movie, I think it's still okay to watch. Like if you
Mm-hmm.
just want like you're like okay, I just wanna put something on. I don't think this is one of those movies that you just kind of put on in the background because there's like a lot of stuff that happens in there that it's just
Mm-hmm.
like whoa, but the whoa factor doesn't really boost the actual story. So I think it's like, hey, do you want a action movie like with a pretty decent like setting, like an interesting setting? Give it a watch. Like, and if not, like, or if you just, I think it makes a decent action movie. But like,
Yeah, it's definitely
it's
a lot heavier on the action. My poor rabbit. So one of the later scenes. This isn't a spoiler.
mm-hmm.
There's a or no, I guess it is technically a spoiler based on stuff that they say in the beginning. But what I'll say is during one of the action scenes, it went on for so long that my rabbit started getting anxious about the noise, so I had to mute my TV because I think she was getting overstimulated, and I think you know exactly what I'm talking about just by saying that.
Was it with a fish?
No, the one
I,
after that, the sauna.
oh yes,
Hmm.
yeah. I was yeah. There's there's a lot of like there's a lot of scenes where it's just like a lot and a lot of good sounds, and
Hmm.
so. But that is the end of the questions. I hear our own train getting ready to depart, but would you like to let the peoples know, in case they don't want to go to Spoiler Town with us, what is happening next week?
Yeah, so we're continuing our watch of Bong Joon Ho movies. So next week will be the one that I think most of anyone has heard of because it's one of, is
Hmm.
it the first foreign film to win a certain set of awards? Is that what it was? Or something like that.
Something. I could look it up.
But Parasite, which I
Yeah,
did.
we'll figure it out to next week.
Yeah, I could be a liar. I could be a total liar. But yeah, so next week is Parasite. Parasite was very critically acclaimed. I think we both happened to watch this one in theaters.
I didn't. No,
Oh,
I
okay.
saw it at home. Yeah.
I watched it in theaters. I think it's a very I think it covers his directorial like vision the best as far as
Hmm.
like the movie goes. Really complex characters, a lot of really dark humor, and then when it the actual twists that come together in the movie, I think actually like serve the original message a lot more than like I don't know. I guess what I would say is so Snowpiercer has a lot of the same themes, but because of the way it's structured as a movie, the ending doesn't really help the beginning.
Yeah.
Whereas, like, I think Parasite as a movie, when you learn the twists, it makes the beginning stronger. So then I think it's just
Hmm.
a really good movie.
Yeah, I think this will be the first time I'm watching it a second time.
I think I've only watched it once as well.
Yeah. So it'll be fun. Um, I was just listening and I was like, yeah, we get to watch that movie next. And then I was like, where is that movie? It's on Canopy. That's cool. And then this whole time I'm like, I never set up the timer.
You had one job.
Yes. Only one. Okay, and the timer is set. The train is ready. We are getting ready to go to Spoiler Town in 3, 2, 1. Doot, doot.
Okay. So, yeah, I guess I'll just get it out of the way. The scene when they realize that I think everything after the point when they realized they had guns, it totally lost me.
Yeah.
When they did the whole, you know what else is extinct other than chickens? Bullets! And then it was just like shooting stuff forever. And then the scene where the guy and Chris Evans are trying to shoot each other across like several train cars. And I was just like, why is this scene going for so long?
Yeah, no, that scene, I'm like, this is like, because I remembered that scene, but I'm like, I remember when, like, the first time I watched it, I'm like, oh man, this is a lot more interesting, like, of a scene. And then I'm like, the second time, I'm like, oh, I thought there was a more like shooty back and forth. Like, honestly, what that feels like, and I know there's, because I seen stills like or pictures of the comic, and so there's some stuff that is just straight scenes out of the comic book.
I could imagine that. Like, there were some parts in the beginning where they were all yelling at each other, and I was like, these feel like comic stills, like frame.
Yeah, and that felt like a comic still. I also was just like, Curtis, why are you using that gun to shoot
all the way?
It's like, you don't even have like, you legitimately have no clue who is shooting you and where. And it's not like you're a precog, like, girl, Yon.
Don't open the door.
Yeah. So, but yeah, that scene there, like, when it's like the fish people, that whole scene, the butchers, that is pretty much a scene straight out of the comic.
That makes sense.
I think same with like some of the fight stuff, when they're in the dark. There's a lot of scenes that are in there, and like part of me just wonders if Bong Joon, like, if some of his vision or does like shooting of the movie like kind of got pulled back a little bit because they whoever was the producers or whatever wanted, like, we need to make sure this shot is in there, which it's like, the shots are cool, but it doesn't really, there's not a lot of storytelling.
Yeah, it doesn't help push like everything forward.
So what car was your most memorable, the one that you were like, oh, or like I can't think of the best way to word the question in my head.
Yeah, no. Like, so
Stood
we
out.
have,
Yeah.
we have a lot of cars, right? So we have, of course, the tail, which is a
Yes.
lot where a lot of the beginning takes place.
Yeah, I guess like we can say the tail and the security department is all one because they're kind of like,
They seem really interconnected.
Yeah.
Then we have the water, like
Well,
the
we
water.
have food processing.
Oh yeah, food processing. Then
Water.
Then fish. Not real fish, but like I don't know what that train was where it had all the windows.
It was kind of like a connection point. I think it was like a butcher block, because then
they have a different butcher block.
Well, I thought that was more like a refrigeration car because they had like all the.
I guess they had the hanging stuff. Yeah. I just mean like there were no tables. There was no.
It could have just been like a buffer.
Car.
Yeah, it could have just been like a buffer from the tail to the front.
And then we have the gardening, the greenhouse, then the fish, then the butcher, then I'm trying to remember what they kind of like speed run after that.
The school. No.
School. Yes, there's the school. And then there's a couple, and then there's like the salon, the disco, the druggy place, the sauna.
Yeah, we could probably throw all like like pretty much it's like the club, the sauna,
salon is all
Yeah.
kind of like.
Yeah, it's like because they were all kind of bunched together.
Yeah, I mean, I guess for me, so like the part that was the basically like conservatory reminded me of Longwood Gardens, so that was fun.
Hmm.
The fish one reminds me of going to aquariums, which is fun. And then you get sushi afterwards, twice a year only. But I guess if I had to pick one to be like memorable, I guess other than the tail, I feel like and other than the fight sequence, I think we spent a lot of the time at the school. So I guess the
Yeah.
school is the one that'll stick out to me, especially because you have a bunch of creepy kids that are being propagandized. So
Yeah.
it's hard to forget listening to kids scream about how much they love the train.
Yeah, and it's just like those tail people are big stinkies, and it's just like
They're
no,
lazy.
they're very nice. Please stop offending the people that are going to stab me. And like, I also thought it was funny that the Eggman was also an egg.
Egg-like.
Yeah.
But yeah, what about you? What's your more memorable one?
Yeah, I feel like the school is the one that sticks out a bunch. But yeah, I think I thought a scene like the club into like the front of the train, which I'm like, I don't understand. And, like the train, yeah, the club into the sauna into the actual train.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was interesting, where it's just like everyone was still kind of like drugged out of their mind of like, you're taking my chronos or whatever it was, and
Mm-hmm.
chronal, and it's just like, come back here. And it was that kind of also made me laugh, where it's like it took them, I think, like in movie time, I think close to 30 minutes for them all to be like, yeah, wait a second, we're gonna beat you up. And I'm like, but nah, I think that, and then I I did like the aquarium, like, yeah, that whole thing, because it's like it's just something I know I missed the first time I watched it, where it's just like, oh, Tilda Swinton's character is literally just told you what the train is.
Yeah, like it doesn't feel like foreshadowing. It just feels like
It's like, we're just gonna tell you.
yeah. But I have you been to Adventure Aquarium in Camden, New Jersey?
No.
They have a shark tunnel that feels like the way that train is set up. So I think maybe that's why it doesn't stick out to me, because I'm like, oh yeah, I've done that. I've seen that.
Yeah, I did something similar. I think when I was in Mexico, we went to an aquarium, but it wasn't so much like the scene. I think because it's like the garden, like kind of where they're making all the fruit into the aquarium and all that stuff. Like, I just thought that was interesting, because it's like right before that. That's when you have. Let me scroll down to character. Okay, let me go to the IMDb so I can see. I'm gonna butcher the name, but like Minsu, like pulls the dirt up and gives it to Yona, and it's just like, hey, you Trainborn never have seen this before. And it's just like, what is it? And she's just like, can I eat it? And just like tries to eat the dirt before it's just like, bleh.
But it's CGI worms.
Yeah, and just like little squigglies. But yeah, like it goes from there to like kind of. Oh, I see the picture you sent. I think I've seen pictures of it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
But yeah, I think it's, yeah, like the visuals are nice, but I think it's yeah, I guess the car, I did ask what car stuck out, but it's just like, I think from there it's like that. I think that's the first part where we see Minsu. He, like, it shows that he's looking for something. Like he's more than just a drug addict, and it's like in the car before that and in this one kind of give the hints, where it's just like
Of the system, yeah.
of the system, but also like of his own thing, because like up to that point he's just like drugs, like him and his daughter.
That he's actually smarter than what he led on in the beginning. Yeah.
And yeah, to the point where it's just like, it's from there, it's like he's like, because he was part of the security team, earlier. They do mention that, and then it was just
Yeah, that
like,
he built all of the codes for all of the gates and everything.
yeah, and instead of using the codes, he just stinking jumps it. But but yeah, it was like all the different things like that to kind of move, like, just because that's when, like, before that he's just like, they're like telling him like, no, stand back, as like the butcher fishmen are there, and there's like, no, we gotta look, and like later it tells you what he's looking for, which I knew he was looking for something. I just completely missed what it was. But yeah, it was that, and then he's just like, here's the worms, and then like he's like, hold up, and like it doesn't tell you what he's looking at later
When he's looking out the windows.
when he's looking out the windows, and just like it kind of gives little hints that he's observing different things, and it almost makes me wonder if, like, okay, if Minso was the main character, if we followed him rather than Angry Man Curtis, who doesn't really even know who he is, like, like, so yeah,
It could have been a much more interesting, and I guess that would make it feel a lot more like Parasite. I have a funny trivia, the top one, so it's kind of relevant to us, like what we're talking about in terms of the way that scene is shot, leading
Yeah.
into the different areas of the train. But I think before I fully forget, because we are about a little bit into Spoiler Town, man, like you said, the reaction that the main guy has over like the reveal of bugs versus the reveal of child labor was not really equivalent.
yeah.
I feel like he should have been a little bit more concerned. Also with the
Reveal that he eats babies.
he eats babies, and also the reveal that everything he knew growing up on the train has been set up as a lie since he was 17 to force a revolt to help cull the population in favor of the one guy he trusted.
Yeah.
And then who's in cahoots with the other guy. Like, he sees the bugs and goes, oh my god, this is the worst thing I've ever seen in my life. And then, like you said, he eats babies in in his younger years. And then he goes and gets told, the man that you looked up to that cut off his arm, that was calculated. And he's like, what do you mean? Like, you didn't get a hint when the Eggman specifically gave you a specific egg to have a message in it. You didn't think that was coming from higher up. You weren't concerned.
Yeah. Yeah, it was just like, yeah, he was definitely kind of, at that point she's like, duh, what? Can I
What'd you
throw my
say?
shield?
And, like, I understand the point of the full ending, but also I kind of rolled my eyes a little bit. Like, I know it's nice to end on a hopeful note, but at the same time, I was like, cool, polar bear.
Yeah.
Well, like, what was she gonna do after that point?
Yeah. Apparently
without-
that's where the comic ends, and then because of the popularity of this movie, they made a fourth, like, another volume.
Installment. Okay.
So, but it's like,
Because, like, technically, without her dad, like you said,
Yeah.
that the guy who could have been the main character, he has all of the wisdom from the woman that is clearly her mother.
but she's a precog, she'll be okay.
She'll figure out all that there is to know about the snow and ice.
Yeah. So here's something that, like, on my second watch that I'm like, wow, this like I don't know. I don't want to say second watch because it's been like so long that I'm like, I remember story beats, but I don't remember fully everything.
Right.
And the fact that Yona is, or how you pronounce her name, is yeah, she can, like, see the future. But then at the same time, well, I don't even know if they say his name in the movie, but in the IMDb, Franco the Elder, he's the guy that, like, just doesn't die. And
Oh,
I'm
he just
like,
gets up.
yeah, but I'm just like, is he also psychic? Because they never talk about it, and he never, like, really. There's nothing that, like,
He just
we
stares
hear
at the
him say.
camera a lot.
But, like, every time he's going to, like, go against somebody, it's never like Curtis or Chris Evans' character or Minso or any of the other, like, kind of threats. he's always like aiming at Yona. Like when that scene that we're making fun of earlier, he's not aiming at Curtis. He's aiming at Yona. When they're in the fight scene, which it's like I think the only thing that like kind of gives a hint that it's like if he's not psychic, he's just really pissed off, because I think when we first are introduced to him, he gets
stabbed by her, right?
Well, in the very beginning, there's this, I forget this guy. Let's see. Hold up. There's this quick scene. There's a screenshot of it on IMDb, which I don't know the name of this other character, but it's like this. I'm like, it's a little bit out of character.
I forgot about the two of them.
But
okay.
yeah, and so there's like an affection there. And of the guy who doesn't die, and then this other guy who's dressed the same, has nice hair. I don't remember his name. I don't think we ever learn his name, but he's pretty much one of Tilda Swinton's characters, like kind of
her like
thugs.
Hey guys, you got to do this for us. Yeah.
Yeah, but it was right after they kind of fight in the tunnel and do all that. She uses her precog kind of abilities to like kind of kick the like spear thing, and he falls on it dying. And then it does this kind of slow focus on Franco, the big dude that doesn't die, and he's like looking right at her. And so it's just like, okay, because this is the other thing that's like I think would benefit from a longer
media
like as a TV show, because it's like, okay, she is able to see the future. Are there other characters that have abilities? And it's just something I don't know, because I never read the source material and I haven't watched the TV show.
Yeah, it would add layers to it if
And it's like it would also kind of go, I guess, against a little bit of the speech at the end, where it's like, hey, if we just left everything up to chance, we wouldn't have actual natural selection, so we have to artificially do that. And it's like there's natural, like almost like a form of adapting already happening, like where Yuna is like, because of these forced purges, because I can't think of a better word, like
that is another movie.
Yeah. That Yuna is like kind of gaining this ability to sense danger, like a danger sense almost. And so it's like, does Franco, as his name is in here, have a similar like ability but maybe his is more like hunting-esque, because I don't think he ever talks.
I don't recall his character talking.
Yeah. And so,
but we do have a few characters that don't talk, because we have someone from the tail end of the train. I think they call him Gray. I don't think we hear him talk, and he has the tattoos on his body.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, Gray, he doesn't talk. He's like, okay, I know martial arts. So, you also know what's kind of funny? Wilford's a dang liar. And not with a sense of like, oh, I tricked you with Gillum because we're big sneaky poopies. He's like, yeah, Curtis, you're the only person to come from the tail end to the front. Oh, don't look in my secret compartments filled with the children we take from you, who also come from the tail and all the way up. And
I think he means in terms of like
on his own will. I know, but it's still like, by the letter of the law, multiple people have gone to the tail and back.
He said that only recently the parts failed. That's because, remember, Gilliam's like, what is he doing with kids?
Yeah.
So at least in 17 years.
Yeah. He had a 17-year-old in there. And then they got too big and got mixed squished into like Chris Evans' arm. Yeah. But like, what's their... I don't even remember her name, but I know they say her name because he yells at her, but...
Claude.
Oh, is that her name?
Yeah, I think it's Claude.
Oh wait, there's a Claude here. If I click on the name in the IMDb, this is like yep, that's who it is. Old Miss Yellow. Uh, yeah, she's gone to the front and the back, and then back up to the front. So
You're right. You're right.
yeah, by her free will. But
Not really. She kind of worked for him.
oh yeah, but I don't know. She got stopped
know
in the
how much-
sauna.
I don't know how much free will she has.
Yeah, there's a lot of things like watching this again and like thinking about it. I don't understand. There's a lot of like logistical questions about this train. And
But it's perfect. It's
but-
been engineered.
I will say that there is things like they do skip cars that we don't see because we get external shots of that train, and that train is huge.
But I was so confused. We were almost an hour in. They go, okay, guys, there's like, we're getting to the 10th train car. We're about halfway there. And I was like, how long is this movie? Like, I was like, are we like going through each one? But yeah, they kind of do speed run, at least in the movie, like 4 of them towards the end.
Where do they sleep?
They who?
Everybody. Like, the tail people, we see their bed. We see where the security people sleep.
We do pass sleeping cars. When they go through and it's the first time they ever see windows.
Okay, was that sleeper car? Oh, yeah, I missed that then.
Because they do the walkthrough where some of them are sleepers, I think, and then some of them, like, they have the tailor, they have the dentist, they have the...
Yeah.
And it leads into the salon.
Yeah, I'm just like, okay. You know what also I didn't see? Bathrooms.
You just open a window.
No, you literally can't open a window.
You shoot a hole through a window.
That, like, I guess, like, if you're real, like, it's like, oh, yeah, you got like 30 seconds to go poo, and then it's gonna.
Yeah, you have to do everything in less than minutes, because 7 minutes while the train is moving is too much.
Yep. And so it's like, okay, you have like you can only use it like for 20, like not 20 minutes, but it's just you have like at most a minute and a half, because if you go past that, it just all freezes, and then it just doesn't come off well.
You need a hammer.
Yeah, a little chisel action.
No, the big hammer. They already have the big hammer for frozen stuff.
Yeah. Man, if that's how they use the bathroom, dingleberries must be the worst.
Don't get your stomach upset. I mean, I guess you can't get too much poop if you're just eating jelly.
Yeah.
It's just
the other people are eating like full things.
Oh, well, yeah. That's their problem up there at the front train that they deal with.
Probably goes to the food supply anyway.
Yeah, but no, I think overall, because of this movie setting, it feels like, and I think I said it too, where you're like, it feels like it touches on a lot of these different themes. Like you said, you have just, it's not important for us to know where they go to the bathroom, but you're also like, they try to build up the world so much where, this feels also important to add in. Because, like, my brain was also like, when did they build, like, why didn't they build suits yet to go maintain the train from the outside? Because eventually that Snowpiercer is going to stop piercing through ice at some point.
Yeah.
It's going to chip away. But I think just because of how many things it kind of, like, glosses over, it leaves a lot of, like, it's not even vague. It almost feels like things that they just forgot to talk about. And they might have left it out just because, like you said, it's only 2 hours. You can only put in so much 2 hours. But then it makes me go, did they consider this, or did they just leave it out because they ran out of time?
Yeah. Thinking about it, though, there's, like, other stuff that just, like, the whole thing where it's, like, they see that the train is covered. Like, the train tracks are covered. Like, I don't know. I guess it could have happened, like, with just natural snowfall and everything. But I don't know. It's just...
Also, I was, like, hopeful to find out that Wilford did purposely freeze the world in order to make his train prove a point. Because they have the one-liner in the school where they're like, and Mr. Wilford knew. And I was like, knew what? And then they never bring it up again. And I was like, that would have been really cool to... Whatever.
Yeah, let's see. Did they have the Wikipedia for the actual... Let's see if I click this. This terminus. Okay, the escape. Oh my goodness. So they said they were on car 10. And they're like, we're about halfway through. I clicked on the Wikipedia for the comic. Humanity occupies a 1001 car train called Snowpiercer.
Thank goodness we didn't go through every one of those. I wonder if the show does.
I don't
But
know. Yeah.
what I will say, I did look at the time. How much time is left for?
I think there's like 5 minutes left.
Okay, can I get my trivia in?
Oh, yeah.
This one makes me laugh because I think we talked about like a majority of what we felt about the movie. Like one of those like not bad, good themes could have been like dived into more. But okay, so the top trivia on IMDb is director Bong Joon Ho often clashed with producer Harvey Weinstein, Icky Man. I did see his name all over the beginning, who frequently interfered in order to demand his version of the film. Among the many requests, the producer insisted on having the fish scene removed in favor of more action. Bong, who considered it his favorite shot in the film, was adamant to keep it in. He told the producer that he wanted to keep the shot for a personal reason as a tribute to his late father, who was a fisherman. Upon hearing this, Weinstein said that his family is very important to him, so he granted Bong to keep the shot. And in an interview later, the director said, "It was a fucking lie. My father was not a fisherman."
I read that. I forget when. I think I was reading that for last week, and I was like, that's funny.
And it does say that the director had reservations about casting Chris Evans in the lead role. But he says it's because, like you said, Chris Evans was recently Captain America, so he's still pretty built. And, like, they had to, like, try and do a lot of costuming and stuff to try to make him look impoverished.
Yeah.
Because, like, everybody else in the back of the... Not everybody else. But, you know, some of the other men in the back of the train were very, like, lean and very, like, thin.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's pretty interesting. It's literally the next one is there was no additional lighting used for the torchlight fight scene.
Oh, so you know how they have the character who is drawing things?
Yeah.
It says that the drawings in the tail section of Snowpiercer were illustrated by Jean-Marc Rochette, the original comic artist on the graphic novel. That's neat.
Let's see. Oh, okay. So it's not precognition. It said, according to the filmmakers, train babies like Yona developed animalistic hearing skills.
Interesting. I don't know why you would.
Yeah. I'm just like, I like the idea of her being a precog much more.
Yeah.
Oh, Chris Evans personally contacted Bong Joon-ho for the audition after hearing the casting news.
Oh, okay. So this says the movie is based, like we said, the French graphic novel. The director discovered the comic in late 2004 during pre-production of The Host and was fascinated by it. So I'm curious what the movie would be like if he didn't have to go to like Weinstein Productions for that money, because it does sound like the two maybe clashed a bit. Maybe we would have gotten less action and more of Bong Joon-ho's like flavor in it.
Yeah. True. I'm just surprised this was filmed in 72 days.
That's very impressive. The set, I guess, technically is tight. Yeah.
Yeah. And it's a lot of action. And just kind of strolling through to see. Some of these trivia things are stupid. This movie takes place in 2014 and 2031. It's like, okay, thank you. Let's click the spoiler ones. According to filmmakers, the revolt of the 7 female leader isn't. Yeah, no, that's that's just a plot point of the movie. That's not a trivia. I don't think people know. sometimes what trivia is.
We got all the good ones out of the way, I guess.
Yeah, just like okay, well, that's it. Says the North American movie poster foreshadows Curtis's fate, as apparently on the poster, his lower left arm is obscured in the poster.
That doesn't mean it spoils it.
Not spoils, foreshadows.
Oh,
which
okay.
looking at it, yeah, I could see that, but it's also that silly like kind of
layered photos of everybody on top.
Yeah, where it's just like, oh, there's like they just show you who the bad guy is. Let's see.
Even though he's in the movie for like 10 minutes.
Yeah, it's there's the timer. It's a long 10 minutes. It feels like. Oh, okay. Factual errors. There's only 2 here. Which, let's see. Minister Wilford states that Curtis Everett is the first person to make it from tail to the front, while Claude, Timmy, and Andy were all seen in the tail and the engine.
And live in the front, yeah. I also would have loved to understand how Wilford got the kids to be able to do things without listening to anybody else. Mm-hmm. Because, like, Chris Evans' character was like, please, Andy, please don't. And Andy's just, like, not hearing him. Mm-hmm. But again, probably better in, like, longer form.
So, looking at, just real quick at the graphic novel thing, just skimming through the, whatever it's called, the Wikipedia. So, the first one is pretty much the movie, like, from what it looks like. But it seems a lot more clandestine. I definitely butchered that word. Sneaky, where instead of being named Curtis, his name is Proloff, and he was quarantined after escaping from the rearmost cars, and then is joined by another woman, and then they kind of start making their way through the different cars, seeing all the different things. However, it looks like they're disconnecting the rear cars. And then, so stuff happens. In the second one, there's a second train. And they're just like, yo, we lost contact. Also, we might be running into you. What are you doing? Like, so it's like, it's this whole thing, just pretty much, like, I'm like, okay, there's a second train, which is not mentioned in Snowpiercer. And then apparently in the third one, there's like, they detect a radio signal from across the frozen ocean. And the main character from the second one decides to go find out what it is. And then the fourth one is kind of, okay, no more trains.
All done train. No,
and
but
then apparently
I like...
there's a prequel. Anyway.
Okay. I do like that, at least in the Bong Joon-ho version, it did feel... the thing that did ground it for me quite a bit is how international it was on the train, because they're saying, like, everybody's dead, but this is our few survivors left, and then they have all the translators. So
yeah,
that is a touch that I think was really nice, that I feel like other directors might just, like, not even think about twice.
Yeah, everyone would be American or European. Yeah,
and then he also does that, like, in his own films, like, because Korea has, like, American bases on it and everything. He has Americans in the host and discusses that as well. But... yeah. Oh, and then he also has people from Pakistan, too, in the host. I just remember that part when they're at the river, and they're like, where are you from? As they're all, like, throwing stuff into the river. So, I will say that was a nice touch. But again, not a bad movie, just, fine.
Yeah. It's like one of those movies where I feel like there's a lot that they could go into, but there just wasn't enough time. And probably not the best medium. I am curious about the TV show, but I probably won't watch it.
It does have multiple seasons. Ugh. It's not really... yeah. But I guess, yeah, I don't have much else to add. I feel like we kind of covered a lot of everything with the movie. Yeah. What I will say is if you stay through... all the way through Spoiler Town on our own train. Always appreciate it, and always will appreciate it if you recommend us to others. Leave comments, ratings, reviews, likes, subscribes, whatever it is on the platform you're on. Always appreciated. And be sure to let us know prompts you think would be fun for us to watch through for different movies. Can't guarantee when it would happen, because if we just spin a big old wheel, it's all random. But we can tell you what we're watching next week, and what is that, Dpayne?
Parasite. We're watching Parasite. Aliens come down and infect a young teen. Oh, wait, never mind. But yes, we are watching Parasite, which is the penultimate episode of the penultimate month for the penultimate director.
Then you'll have to tune in next week to find out what the ultimate episode for the penultimate month is, to then also find out the ultimate director.
Yeah. Which, funny, I'm like remembering the next one. I'm like, yeah, there's like a little asterisk to add to that one. But yeah, we look forward to that, and see y'all next time.